Hey guys. Hey Corey, Travis. Thanks for coming. I know it's a little bit impromptu, but I won't be able to make the one on Sunday. So I figured I'd do this one today. I talked to Hybrid, make sure he wasn't doing anything that I was going to interrupt, and I just didn't want to make sure that I stepped on anybody's toes. And I figured it'd be a good day to have you guys along to help finish the break-in in the STS. So the original Nova that was in this thing is done. So it just that little bit weak on the pinch. It keeps flaming out at about half a tank, and it needs a repinch. It rolls good. It's tight and everything. It's just a little low on pinch, just a little bit. You hum a little bit. I'm a few minutes early. Joey's sliming me. Yeah, the Nova that was in that is this Euro 21 ProTech Euro LS, and when it's cold, it seems to have pretty decent pinch, but when it's warm, it's just that little bit too weak that it keeps flaming out all the time. So it's I thought about trying it on 20%, but I figured I needed a platform to break this engine in, so I may play with this one again later, but for now I'm just going to put it aside. It's going to take you a bit to break in that Serpent engine, Travis, just so you know. Like I said, it doesn't really turn itself on until it gets to about 9 tanks. That's for me anyway. That's when it kind of really woke up. It was kind of dog-ish until like 7, and then 7 was starting to come alive, and then 9 it just fucking turned on. Hey Joey, thanks for coming, buddy. So I did take and put one of the STS stickers on the top, just so that I had it on there. So this engine is the one, Joe sent me this engine. This is the STS D21J. So or D21T. So it's so far it's been one of the easiest break-ins I've ever done. Yeah, and then this one's been fantastic so far. Like, been very little amount of pissing around till the last little bit. And then the last tank I ran a couple tanks the other evening, and it was just starting to kind of come alive, and it was getting kind of late, so I shut it down because it was getting close to the point where I was worried people were going to start bitching that I was still outside messing around. So. Well, it's okay, John. I understand you're trying to run around and do a bunch of things today, so I get that. I do thank you for popping in. But yeah, so I figured that I'm on tank, I think somewhere around 6, 5, 6, maybe 7 in there somewhere. And it's just starting to get to a point where it's starting to kind of wake up. It's been really reliable. It doesn't stick much at all, like for such a tight engine. Some of the other Taiwanese engines I've had, they're a bit of a bear to break in. This one's actually been pretty decent. So. But it is pretty pretty good looking engine. Has the nice cuts in it and everything. Yeah, this starter box is kind of my universal starter box. I don't quite have one set up purpose for this buggy yet, so it's kind of just on my universal bump box, so to speak. So I have put fuel in it. I haven't primed it yet or anything, so we'll see. I do have to, this engine is fairly tight yet, so it does need a warm up prior to fire up. It does like a fairly fat idle. I have noticed that. It doesn't like to be leaned out at idle at all. It tends to start getting that weird Chewbacca sound and everything else, so the idle has to stay reasonably rich. I'm not sure if that'll lean out as it gets broke in, but as of right now, it does not like a lean idle. Like I said, I've only ever run, I think, a tank and a half through with it on the ground so far. Everything else has been on the test stand. Temperatures have been super solid. I like to make sure it's good and heat soaked before I bark it up. Hey, thanks, Raw. Appreciate that, buddy. That was a big milestone for me, man. 300, that's a big deal. That should be good. All right. Let that idle stabilize a bit first. sound too bad so far. I've had to run one tank through on the ground so far. Alright, let's see what we get. Starting to wake up. So this is tank 7, I think. It's still pretty rich. It's only about half throttle. I'm not even getting close to full throttle. That's only about half throttle. I must have missed what you said there, Raw. I seen something about a too lean comment. Yes, it did. So at least I'm a little less leery to wreck this one. Not that I want to. It's way better than the other night. It's already getting more responsive. I tell you, it's definitely been one of the easier engines I've had to break in. But I tell you, it sure likes its fuel when it's breaking in. I bet you this thing would go through a tank of fuel in 25 minutes on the stand, which is crazy for a buggy. It's funny, the instructions for the break-in on this were different than anything I've ever seen. It was like run it for 2 minutes, then shut it off, then run it for 2 minutes, then shut it off. And then it wanted you to do that, I think it's some odd number, like 17 times in the instructions. And I was like, that's weird. So I did my regular break-in on it. I'll stick to the way I do it. I like the 3.3s raw. I think you'll like it. The 3.3 is an underrated engine. If it's good, if you got a tuned rate, it's actually not a bad engine. Ooh, there she's waking up. Oh, I think I'm out of fuel. Come on, wiggle back to me. Come on. Let's see. Yep. Nice. Out of fuel. When it starts to lean out, you can hear it. It's starting to work perfectly. So I bet you a couple more tanks, this thing will be, even maybe the next tank will start waking up. That's what I do, Travis, the same thing. I do four or five idle tanks, and then I run slow on the ground. And I also let the engine talk to you on what it wants to do. If it wants more, you'll know, because it'll just stop. It won't ask to be leaned out. It'll just stay wanting to be rich all the time. That's the way I go off it anyway. Because I find that they will tell you when they want more fuel or less fuel as they break in. But they'll just start fighting you tooth and nail, and then you'll know you're close to that point. Hey, Harold. Plus, I'm also breaking this in on 20% fuel, which is and then according to the manual, this engine comes set up to run on 20%, which is weird for a buggy engine. Most of them come set up run on 30. So this one is, like I said, set up to run off of 20. from stock. So I figured it was good to break it in that way. I do find it super interesting that the head button in this will take either or a turbo plug or a turbo plug, which is odd. I've never seen that before. I think over there, Joey, like 20% is probably your higher test stuff, 20 or 25. You guys don't get much 30 over there that I know of. Yeah, it's kind of a unisex engine. It's kind of weird, but it like I said, it's been really good so far. I got to admit on the break-in. What are the race rules over there? 20%? Oh, 16. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because it said it gave me a range 16 to 20% for the break-in. And then it says if I'm going to go to 30, I got to reshim the head. And then it gave me all the specs in there for what shims go in it. Ooh, that sucks, Raw. If you order from VP, because you're in Canada, VP is actually not too bad. If you order directly through them instead of going through a hobby store in Canada, it's actually not a bad deal. Avoid the hobby stores. Go directly through VP. There's some VP dealers around that deal with a lot of race fuels for snowmobiles and stuff like that, and they can get RC fuel as well. So snowmobiles and race cars and shit, and they can bring it in for you, because that's who I got the last lot from. I have some 25%, Joe. I just, for whatever reason, I've never played with 25 much. I just seem to skip over it. I think I got 6 gallons of it, and I don't seem to burn it much, and I have a whole schwack of it. Let's run another tank and see what we get, shall we? Yeah, if you're in Canada, by the court bypasses that Witness regulation and drops the shipping down tremendously. You know what, Travis? I didn't on that engine. I switched it from 20 to 30, and I never touched the shims, and never had an issue. So I broke it in on 20%, and then I switched it to 30. I never touched it, aside from the needles. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can run another tank through this. It should be getting awful close. So if you look at the manual, it says it can take either or, but I got a turbo plug in here. I liked how it lined up with the bottom of the head better. So I put a turbo plug in it, because I did pull the head off and verified where the plug stopped in the head, and I like the turbo plug sat very nicely in there. So that's what it went with. stuck finally. I knew that would happen because I said something. Let it come back up to temperature a little bit first. Starting to come alive now. I'm gonna give that 5 minutes on the lean. There it is. Oh, it ran over the tripod. Man, it's picking the front wheels up. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm so happy with it, Joe. Thanks. I'm still only 3/4 throttling it. Hey, All Aspects, thanks for coming. We're just doing the break-in on this STS 21T. On tank 7 or 8. I'd say that's starting to sound really healthy. Ooh, that was close to that tree. I'm scared to do that without a body on it. I don't want to scratch that head up. How much fuel left in that thing? And out of fuel. There. Perfecto. Man, I couldn't be happier with that break-in so far. I think I would call that broke in. With the way that thing's taking fuel and holding idle and everything, I think I'm going to call that broke in. I think this thing's going to be good. I think it could probably stand to use a slightly larger bell, because it's a fairly small bell. But I think I will call that broke in. Oops, let me close the door and stuff. It's a little cold and dreary here right now today. It's a little bit damp. It's been raining like a bastard for the last little while. It's where I lived in Europe. All right, what did I miss for comments? Yes, it's the SDS Dragon Mark II. So this is the box with the specs here. Hope you can read it or not. You get it closer. So it actually comes with really good instructions and whatnot. I do laugh at the stickers though. This is the stickers. Warning, overpowered. Kind of cheesy, but it's funny. I did go with the largest Venturi that was in here. I didn't go with Venturi list. They did say in the book you don't have to run a Venturi. I did run the 8mm Venturi. And I ran, yeah. So I ran with the 8mm Venturi. It says the 21T, which is what this is. So this is the D21T, is a 5-port, and it does say it's supposed to take a turbo plug, but then the instructions say it can take either or, which is bullshit. So it does fit the turbo the best. And then Joe did send me the normal head button as well. So this is a 5-port engine for this one. I do actually recommend these SDS engines. This seems to be, I know Todd did a review on these ages ago, and I tell you, for break-in wise, this thing has been the most uneventful engine I have ever run. So I will say it has been super uneventful to break in, which is fantastic. Did my live stream freeze? No. Okay. Yeah, I will say that this SDS, if anybody has a chance to buy one of these, they are good. Like everybody gets really hung up on having to get like a Nova or a Reds or something, but these are really good. I gotta admit, I like it. And same as that Aero engine. That Aero engine I got from John is a Taiwanese engine, and so are the Alphas, to be honest with you. And they're actually pretty good. But yeah, this one has been very uneventful. It's been super easy. I tell you, it does like to run very fat on break-in, but it was super easy. Like I for the first 3 tanks, I didn't touch the needles. It just ran like perfect. And I have never had that. Like the first 3 or 4 tanks, I didn't touch fuck all. Like I didn't even have to touch the idle adjustment. It just stayed solid. I gotta readjust my camera a little bit though. Ever since I hit the tripod there, it moved over. There. But yeah, I gotta admit, it's pretty good. I would call that broke in until I take it for a rip in the field. But it's I've run a quart and a half, so a liter and a half of fuel through it. So what's that? 1,500 milliliters of fuel I've run through it so far, which is not too shabby. So, is my live stream freezing, or can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, or did it freeze? Oh, okay. So it's just my iPad being a bitch. All right, perfect. But yeah, no, I gotta admit, it's pretty good. Now the only thing we gotta do is I did have to fix my body until I get a new body. I had to I shoe glued in one of these wing mounts here, and I gotta see if this body's gonna pin, or if I'm gonna have to drill that hole out a little bit bigger. The rear one is good, but I think that front one might need to make the hole bigger. Oh no, I'm good. Perfect. There. You know what? If you'd asked me how I like the Hot Bodies buggy, I was a little skeptical. Like, I got the original Hot Bodies Lightning up there, and I'm not the world's biggest fan of the original Hot Bodies Lightning, but the newer Hot Bodies, the D815, is actually very similar in a lot of ways to a Techno. They got the really big control arms. Like you can see, they're really fat, very sturdy, a super well built kit. The radio trays are very similar to the way they are in a Mugen. So it's actually a pretty good buggy, which I was a little nervous about when I bought it because I paid pretty good money for it off eBay. So it was a little nervous that I overpaid for it, but it's been good. Like, aside from that Nova engine causing me some grief, which I think is just the fact that it's a little tired, because the first few tanks that ran through it were flawless, and then it slowly started to flash out a little more and a little more, and then last time I run it, it just wouldn't make it past the half a tank without dying. So I think now it's been really good with this STS, so it should be pretty reliable. So I'm going to send that Nova engine off for a repinch. I've never done that before, so I'll send the piston and sleeve off for a repinch, because the rest of the engine, when I pulled it apart, is in very good shape. Yeah, like, I gotta admit it, I think I paid 300 Canadian for this used off of eBay, and then plus shipping. So by the time it came here, I think it cost me $400 to get it. Canadian, obviously. And then, so it was a bit pricey, but I couldn't find them for sale anywhere, not these D815s. So, and then I wanted one, and Harold wouldn't sell me his. So I ended up buying this. So, because Harold has a roller, but his engine is toast, and I was going to buy it off of him, but he wanted to keep it for now. So I went and found my own. Yeah, I don't want to. So I sent Joe a package on trade for this engine. I sent him one of my collection that's on the shelf over there. He doesn't know what one I sent him. He said, "Send me something as a surprise." So I sent him something as a surprise. He doesn't know what it is, so it'll be good. I haven't told. I think I've told one person what I sent him, and And other than that, it is a complete surprise for him. So it should be really good, and I hope you enjoy it because they're not very common, and I'm almost positive that there's none of those over there, or very few. I know it wasn't supposed to be a kit, Joe, but I wanted to send you something that it's something that I got cheap, that I didn't have much money into, that is still a really good kit, and you'll enjoy it, and it's right up your alley, because it's anyway, I won't say anymore because I'll give it away, but you'll like it. So it is really good, and they're kind of rare. Good thing I sent you parts. That's all I can say. So be careful with it. I don't know how easy you'll find parts for it. I will tell you one thing. It's not a Traxxas. Hey, you do that at your own risk, Joe. If you want, if you want to take it to a skate park, give her. I will say it would probably handle a skate park better than a lot of your other kits. So, just because of what it is. But no, I'm super pumped for this. I still have to. You know what? I kind of am a little bit bad and a little bit embarrassed. I have not even checked the oils in this thing since I bought it. I bought it from a pro racer who raced it professionally, and I haven't even checked the oils and the diffs. Nothing. I've just basically driven it, other than radio gear and setup. I bet you'd beat your XL in a skate park. We'll see. You'll have to let me know. I know you'll take it to a skate park, but because that's your MO. But you'll like it. I hope. I kicked myself for having to send it in 2 packages because I missed. I took it apart to package it into a package, and to send it to him. And then when I did, I sent it. Then a day later, I looked on the bench here, and a part of it was I forgot to include in the box. So I ended up having to send you 2 packages. One package was like a half a gram, or like, I don't know, like 5 grams or something. It was super light because it was just a one plastic piece that didn't quite fit in the box that I had to take off. But yeah, you'll it's pretty cool. It was the only one of the I better stop talking. I'm going to stop talking because I'll give it away. I bet you it'll be there this week though, Joe. No, you gotta put 4 screws in. 4 screws between the 2 packages. Pretty sure you can pull that one off. It'll be pretty dope. I'm thinking you're gonna like it. So. Yeah, no, I'm trying to have willpower. There's a Hyper 9 on eBay for sale right now, and I don't have one, and I'm trying my damnedest to not buy it. I know, Travis. It's so much anticipation. I don't know who's more excited. Joe's excited to get it, or I'm excited for him to get it. So it's like, and it's always so nervous wracking when you send something that far, and then you get super nervous that it gets fucking lost because it ends up, because I can't afford to send it air because it costs $1 million to send it air. So I ended up sending it by ground, which is a fucking boat ride, which takes forever to get there, and then you get super nervous that it gets lost. We have, Joe. We've been here so many times. I will say I was a little bit nervous sending it because I will give one thing away. It takes a special LiPo battery for the radio gear, and I left it in it deliberately and didn't declare it. So I was hoping I didn't get in shit, but it's made it all the way there so far without being in trouble. So I hope that it doesn't get me in trouble for sending it, but I didn't declare that battery's in there, so we'll see. I did pull the batteries out of the radio, but I left the battery in the kit. In the kit. Oh, you know now, do you? You guessed it, Joe? You got to tell me if you guessed it. Does it begin with L? Maybe. Stop guessing. You're too good at that. You know my collection. I gotta stop talking. You're like my ex-wife. She could guess every time I give her a Christmas gift. She could guess exactly what it was. I could never hide it. Oh, you're guessing what the battery is? Yeah, the battery starts with an L. I guess it's so I gotta purchase the Hyper 9. You guys let me know what you think of this price. So that Hyper 9 is for sale on eBay, and it's $290, $299 I think, USD for it, and it's a roller, so no engine. It's in really nice shape, and it comes with all the upgrades. To me, it seems a bit steep for a roller, but it's because they don't make them anymore either. So, but the Hyper 9 is a pro grade Hobeo kit, and I have the 8 and I have the 7. So, and I have all the other Hyper line, and I have the SS, and the TQ, and the Pro, and jamming, but I don't have the 9, and I don't see them come for sale very often, and I'm torn with buying it. You see, Travis, that's what I said. It is a little steep, hey? $299 US is a little steep for a 20-year-old buggy with no engine or electronics. I'm getting an ST in October. Are you gonna send me that ST? I thought you'd keep that forever. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe you'd become fond of it. I'll take it, Joe. Believe me, I'll take that for my birthday. We'll just call the one that I'm sending you your birthday gift. How's that? I so want to give up what I sent you, but I probably shouldn't. I won't tell you. I'll let you anticipate it. I'm just anxious. You know how it gets. You get to this point of the shipping, and then you're just like pins and needles and chewing on your fingernails, going, "Ooh, you're like, is it going to get there? Is it going to get lost?" Da, 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 da. It can't be any worse than the Revo. when I sent you that Revo, I was terrified. I thought that was gone. I got to admit though, anybody that's looking for just cheap starter boxes, these TLR starter boxes are the shit, man. They're easy to get parts for. They're cheap to buy. They fit. You can pull all the rods and everything off the top, and they'll work on anything. You just gotta put a little piece underneath of it just to bump the back end up on certain kits. Not all of them, but just certain ones. And they work great. Yeah, I do describe my own emotions about sending emails. I get a little bit excited about it. I will say, Travis, Hobeo buggies are definitely underestimated. I wish they still were commonplace in Western Canada stuff. They used to be really common, but they've pulled out of Canada. They're still fairly prominent in Japan and in like Taiwan and whatnot, but not here. I think you can still buy them if you want to pay really big money. You can buy, I think, the SS off of Amazon, but you were paying $800 Canadian for a Hobeo SS. Hobeo is definitely in my opinion, the only other mainstream manufacturer that's still making a monster truck, a road car, a buggy, and a truggy that you can buy from them. Like other than, yeah, I think they're the only one, to be honest with you, because HPI has given up on buggies and truggies. I think they still have a truggy. Sorry, let me stand corrected. They still have a truggy. What's it called? You can still buy but it's not race quality. You can't race their truggy. I can't remember what it's called, but you can't. It's a RTR, but it's not raceable. The Vorza. Thanks, Travis. Yes, the Vorza. I looked at buying a Vorza at the hobby show because the hobby store that was at the swap meet was going to cut me a super good deal, and I didn't take it. Yes, they make an MT, they make an ST, which is their truggy, and then they make the SS, and yeah. Oh man, my bin leaked and all my friggin'. All my acetone evaporated. God damn it. I'll repackage that after this. That sucks. Now I gotta buy more acetone. My bin must not be airtight enough and all my acetone evaporated. Yeah, like I do appreciate you guys coming and stopping by while I was breaking this in, but and then I got to do, hopefully, I got to put a little bit more time on that truggy that we built last week, and I did sell my tire machine and balancer that's behind me, so look forward to seeing some different changes in my shop coming up. So that's going to be a bit of a shop rearrangement. I'm getting out of doing tires for people. I'm sick of doing tires just because I don't want to do it anymore. Hobeo, in my opinion, Hyper, Hognor, whatever you want to call it, it's my favorite. Like, I have struggled OFNA. I've struggled with trying to get all the models for OFNA that I can, and I am slowly getting there. They're definitely one of my favorites, and I mean like the Jam and stuff. That was their heyday, kind of before the end of their mainstream shit. Is really good, like really good quality stuff. I would do my live tomorrow, but it's my niece's birthday, so I'm gonna head into the city and see my niece and sit there with a bunch of screaming girls and let them run around and do stuff for a birthday gift and so. You can do well with just doing tires, but trying to do tires and trying to work at the same time, and it's hard work, and you just get beat up. And then around here, everybody, if it was just car tires, it'd be great. But around here, everybody, their dog's driving a 1-ton pickup with 16 ply tires with that are 37-inch tires that are just a pain in the ass to work on, and they're heavy and they're hard on you, and nobody wants to pay you any extra money for those heavy tires. That I just don't want to do it anymore. And I was like, no more, no more. One of these videos, one of these lives, I'm going to line up all the Hobeo stuff, kind of from oldest to newest, and then kind of do a generational tour from one end to the other, so you can see the evolution of Hobeo from one thing to another. Thanks for coming, Travis. Take care, buddy. I imagine it is, Joey, and you probably don't get a shit ton of people that have massive truck tires like here. Yeah, so I know it wasn't a super action packed live, and we probably won't carry on too long. But I just wanted to, when I was finishing the break in on this one, I wanted you guys to be along with me instead of for the running tanks, just to, because it's been, you know what break-ins are like, sitting there listening to it forever. It's always a struggle to get through it, but it's always so rewarding and so fun when you get down to those last few tanks, like we just saw. You even seen it from the beginning of that run, that last tank to the next tank over. It just wakes right up, and it's so rewarding when you get there. Yeah, I love this engine. Like so far, it's been a joy. I can't wait to take it down to the field and give her a run and send it off the parking lot on that big hill and let her fly through the air. Should be fun. Yeah, so I don't know any. Like I said, stay tuned. If I decide that I'm going to buy that Hyper 9, I'll let you guys know. Obviously, that I'm kind of just like staying put on that for now. I'm just going to kind of see if it comes up for offers. I'd like to just try and get it a little bit less money. Hey, HBI. We just finished the break-in on this STS Dragon. The last few tanks on it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here today. I just wanted to jump in and do a quick live with finishing the break-in on this STS that Joey sent me, and it's so that's finally finished, and we just finished tank 7-8, and it's been awesome. So now we're just kind of winding down and cleaning up a bit, and I'll take this, give it a bit of a bath, and then put it away for now. My Techno buggy is still on the wash table with full of dirt from the field last weekend, and I just haven't got around to cleaning it yet. So that'll be my next task. Give that a good bath and put it back on her home in the shelf there. And but like I said, do look up these STS engines. These STS Dragons are Taiwanese company. They get sold similar to the Alphas and similar to the Arrows, but the build quality is just as good that I find, you know, and they're a lot less money. I feel that HBI doesn't. You know what fixes that HPI? Whiskey fixes that. I will say, cures all the body aches, makes it all numb. What makes it a hard life, Joe? The having to wash stuff to put it away? The Alpha engines, I know they make an Alpha pull start engine, and I have the Alpha 28 in my Serpent buggy, and it's a beast. Like, and again, super easy break in, no grief whatsoever. You know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know they stopped carrying the Dynamite stuff, but you can still buy the SH stuff from AMain, and the SH stuff is basically the same. Like that SH28 P3, in my opinion, is just a beast of an engine. If you had the option, if I had the option to pick up that SH P3 over the Dynamite Red, the Red Dynamite 28, I would pick up that P3. And I think they're the same, close to the same amount of money. And I will say they hold the tune better than the LRP. Sorry, Joe. I know you just pumped up the LRP, but the Big Red, in my opinion, was a pain in the ass. It never held the tune properly. It always was a crank. When it ran great, it was fucking awesome. But it was, man, that engine was a bitch. I mean, if you guys want, we can do a little cleaning before we let you go today. If you guys want to come along and give that buggy a clean. I think there's... Yeah, so HPI, the other RTR nitro companies, I guarantee you they're going to go with SH. Like, if they have to pick one of them, they'll go with SH. I'm just going to do a bit of a clean. And we can have a bit of a bullshit, I guess, while I do that. At least you guys can see how I kind of wash my stuff, I guess. So what I do, no, the SH stuff's not too bad. If it's one of the ones that they make mainstream, they're not too bad to find parts for. So I know you guys think it's funny. You may think it's funny, I guess. But this is the best stuff ever for cleaning your buggy or nitro car in general. It's a bathroom cleaner, foaming bathroom cleaner, so it looks like this. So the 5.9 for the XL, Joe, I think that was a Force product. So I don't know what they're going to do for those ones. That one I don't know. I don't know who's going to pick that up. So I would be amazed to see if one of the Taiwanese companies don't pick that up for HPI. I hope. I like to see one of those companies kind of pick that up. I would be surprised if they don't reach out to one of those manufacturers that make engines in Taiwan, and they pick up the stuff that's getting dropped by Force. That's my bet. Like I said, that scrub and bubble stuff seems to cut that nitro fuel and dirt up tremendously well on, especially on the body. Like, look. Clean. Can's running low on that one. Then I just kind of take it, because I built this table for this reason. You put it up like that. Right? And then just let it drip. And then I take my air. Usually after that kind of sits for a bit. Sometimes you gotta wipe off some of the heavier stuff. The only thing about RCing in the Elk Valley is it's the only place that I know of that you gotta clear out wild animal shit out of your RC car. Cause you get elk shit, deer shit and everything else down that field and end up with it in weird places. And it's all jammed in around there. Happens every time. You won't see it, you'll drive right through it. End up with this shitty spackling of elk shit. There. Looks good. And I made this table specifically so that all the water from this ends up in the Rubbermaid bin underneath. And then it doesn't make a big mess on my floor. Oops, I forgot my WD-40 treatment. I usually always take a little bit of WD-40 and hit the electronics before I put it away. Just like that. Because it pulls the water out. There. Because otherwise, sometimes you'll take it off the shelf, and then the next thing I know, the on-off switch is knackered, or the servo ingressed water and doesn't want to work anymore. So I always do that just to make sure that it stays good. This is the worst body to put this clip in. And I will say that. It's just hard to get your fingers in there. There. But yeah, that's her. It's ready for the shelf. Oh, you heading out, Joe? Yeah, so like I said, that's just a quick overview of kind of how I clean my stuff, just because it's that way. I don't take them all apart every time. I don't like doing that, but I just kind of quickly give them a good hose down like that. But I will recommend any of those foaming glass cleaners, foaming bathroom cleaners, anything like that. But I will say, actually, on that note, I'm going to call it as well. I just wanted a quick one to finish the break-in on this one, and then I'm going to carry on with my day, and hopefully everybody else has a good day. And I may go play another 18 rounds of golf before the end of the day, and maybe before I call it an evening. But you guys all have a wonderful Saturday, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your May long weekend, anybody that's in Canada. And then I will talk to you guys all on the next one. Thanks, HBI. Everybody have a great one. Later.